What's up, guys? I am here, just finished up with a client, and actually I just finished my pre-workout meal. It's 200 grams of uncooked chicken breast, 200 grams of uncooked rice, and my pre-workout shake. It's just the Rule 1 pump, Rule 1 pre-lift, and now I'm getting my intra-workout shake. It's going to be some EAAs, creatine, as well as a little bit of cyclic dextrin. Essentially, it's just some carbs to fuel me throughout the workout, shuttle some amino acids, and then it's just an easy time for me to add in my creatine. I have legs today. It's going to be a pretty tough session, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in there. All right, so we start actually with a calf raise, a little unconventional, but in general, if I look at a squat rack, my quads grow. Calves, not so much. So we start with the calves here. So we don't have a standing calf raise here, which it is what it is. So we have the Smith, we have a step. I want to do the standing because it's going to bias the gastroc a little bit more, and you just improvise. Your gym may not always have the exact perfect equipment, but there's usually a pretty good way to get it done.
Step into the unknown. This is where
All right, so next we're gonna go probably to my next biggest lagging leg area is hamstring. So we got 2 sets of hamstring curls, both with a myo rep rest pause. So what that means is we're gonna fail 10 to 15 on the first set, rest about 10 seconds, fail again, rest about 10 seconds, fail a third time, and that's 1 set. So we got 2 rounds of those. They're pretty brutal. All right, so just getting some warm-up sets in. Honestly, any exercise you do, you should do a few reps, a couple sets, just to make sure everything's fitting well, everything's lining up well. Hamstring curl, pretty straightforward here. The big thing I want is the axis in line with my knees, and putting myself in a place I can push back on these handles and keep my hips steady and in place. Now we wait 10 seconds. And we go again to failure. 10 more seconds. All right, then we go one more time. 1, 2. And that's set number 1. So we have 2 of those. So this volume is obviously just dependent on me. This is the first week of our second mesocycle, so we're back to original volume. Loads are a little bit heavier than they were last time. Like that one, for instance, I got 130 for 12, where last time, first week of the first mesocycle, I was more like 90 for 10. So getting stronger. Strength's changing due to the volume demands and progressing nicely. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy always to band or not to band a hack squat. Essentially, reverse bands is going to take the load out of the bottom of the hack squat. If you don't have any history of injury or you're not dealing with current injury, I'm all for not banding the hack squat, getting some heavy load in that lengthened position where you're really going to grow. However, I've got a history of some herniated disc, not the best knees currently, so it benefits me with the movement to band it. Again, it helps me lighten the load just a little bit at the very bottom range. My spine's in the most flexion and takes a little bit of pressure off those discs. I don't think it's right or wrong necessarily to do it one way or the other, as long as you have a reason for why you're doing it. So I'm going to show you how I put the band on it. Jesse can come in and video that a little bit closer. If you want a band, get one from me. So we just tie it to the back right here, up over the headrest. Again, I don't want it to be a slingshot back up, just more or less enough to take the tension off the bottom and release a little bit of that load. All right, so I'm still warming up here. The big thing I want is make sure my knees are in place, or to make sure my feet are in place, that I can get as much flexion in my knees as possible with as little flexion on my low back as possible. So nice and slow. Another exercise that I'll warm up on a lot before I get to my top set, just because it's the amount of load that you're doing. It's really important to make sure your body's ready for it. 7. I didn't know if we get 7. We got 7. All right, so top set for me, 7 plates for 7, which relatively not super strong, but really good for me as far as that's as much as I've been able to load my back since I heard it about a year and a half ago. So this set, back off to 4 plates, try to get about 15, make sure the depth's good, make sure everything's good. Not so sure about that last set. I'll have to watch it on video with you guys, but I felt like the depth was pretty good, so we'll see. Okay, as if we did not just destroy the quads with those hack squats, time for Bulgarian split squats. So a couple ways to do these here. I'm still biasing quads for the most part, so you'll see my stride out's not very long. However, if you want to bias hamstrings, glutes, just step out a little bit further right here and make sure you're sitting back in this movement. When you see me do this today, I'll be a little bit closer right here. I'm gonna be shooting my knees over my toes, really shortening this angle and getting a good stretch in those quads. So 2 sets of 15 and 20 here. As you can see, I'm not resting in between each rep. I'm keeping some tension in the quad, a little bit of bend in that knee, and just busting these out one after another until you get that 15 and 20. Really just trying to finish off the quads here. I'm not giving any support to myself other than just balance with this pole and getting everything I can that's left in the quads. So that's all those. If my quads haven't had enough already, we have leg extensions next. Big reason to just go ahead and do these Bulgarians. When you're in a gaining phase like I am, above 250 pounds, any unilateral stuff, any high rep stuff is going to be pretty tough cardiovascularly, and definitely at that point right now. So we'll finish off with some leg extensions, and I'll see you guys over there. Almost done. Okay, so last thing of the day here. Like I said, with the hamstring curls, pretty easy setup here. One thing I see a lot of times, people get this lower piece as low down as they can, and all that's doing is adding extra tension to your knee. Go ahead and bring that up high. You may need a little bit more load, but it's taking a lot of torque off that knee with it up high and getting the same amount of quad contraction out of it. So like I said, 2 myo rep rest pauses here. So fail that first set, rest 10 seconds, fail again, rest 10 seconds, fail again. That's 1 set. We got 2 of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh shit. All right, guys, that ends it up here. Like I said, a pretty brutal day. First day of the second mesocycle, so volume's a little bit low, but intensity was definitely there today. Everything felt good. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And yes, this is absolutely a great way to grow your legs, but just remember, nothing's going to grow without the food. I'm eating about 5,000 calories a day. You saw the pre-workout meal. You didn't see the other 5. So just remember that's an important part, just as important, if not more important than training. Just remember, every little piece of this puzzle adds up to make the whole picture in the end. It's not one thing greater than the other. It's doing every little bit, checking every box every day.